I don't saying hearing yes is a bad thing to hear.
So don't say yes.
Yeah, yes in and of themselves. I would much rather say, okay, I'll do it. I love to say you win, because when you win, you're going to perform.
Hmm.
Yes is nothing without how. I need you to perform at a top level. You perform at a higher level when you feel like you win. If you look at me and we make a deal and you say, okay, well, that's a resigned okay, and we're going to run into trouble when we go to implement, because the minute anything
Hmm.
bad could happen by your inaction, there's a phrase, never be mean to someone who could hurt you by doing nothing,
Hmm.
which nearly everybody can hurt you by doing nothing.
Right. So saying, okay, I'll do it,
Right,
or yes, you win, or you win.
right,
Don't
right.
say
I,
yes.
I, I want you to feel like you won.
You win. You
So,
got the better end of the deal.
yeah, because are you going to hold to the deal if you got the best end of the deal?
Right, of
You're going to
course.
love it. You can
Yeah.
brag about
Awesome. Yeah, I got the better end. Huh.
it. Right.
So you win. Okay, I'll do it. You win. You can do both of them together.
If I say it, that's good because you won. If you say it, it's bad to me because you feel beat.
Hmm.
I don't want you to feel beaten.
Right.
Which is one of the real big problems with negotiation, because since I've been helping people get better at it, like I get more stories. A guy says, "Let me tell you about this deal. I had them over a barrel. There was nowhere for them to go. For all intents and purposes, I took them hostage." Well, I guarantee you that the person they beat was as passive aggressive as possible on the implementation of that deal,
They didn't feel
and they
good about
left
it.
money on the table.
They didn't feel good about it.
Right,
Huh.
right,
So always make the other person feel like they got the better end of the deal. Right?
right.
They won.
And yeah, they won.
And
it was their idea.
it was their idea. I like your idea. I'll do it. Something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean that's really good, and so that's why usually the one word answers of yes and no, those are also frequently misunderstood too.
Mm.
There's three kinds of yeses. There's commitment, confirmation, and counterfeit. And most people are used to getting lured into a trap with yes. Would you like to make more money? Isn't it true this is the off season? Whatever setup yes there is.
Would you like? Okay. Yeah.
It's leading someplace.
Yes.
One of my students is on a honeymoon, and he's wanting to get an upgrade on his bungalow, and it's the off season in this resort. Now, what they typically do is they cut prices on their basic rooms,
But
they
not
don't
the honeymoon suites.
but not the honeymoon
Right.
suites. And he knows they're all vacant. Now, what he doesn't want to cut price on a regular room. He wants a honeymoon suite, and he starts out the conversation with like, isn't it true this is the off season? The general manager knows there's a trap there.
So what's he say?
And so the guy starts going sideways on him immediately.
Oh, really? He didn't say yes.
Right. He didn't want to say yes because he knows that yes is commitment and yes is probably a trap. And he knows, I don't know where you're going with this, but you're going someplace.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, then my student realized that he fell into this yes trap thing.
Mm.
So he had to kind of get back out of it. And they started talking, and instead of trying to get yeses and nos out of him, he started describing the situation. It started showing him a little bit. Yeah, well, I'm sure a lot of guys like me come in. We want a room. We don't want to pay anything for it. You get so many tourists that are in here in the off season, and they're cheap. That's why they're here in the off season anyway, because they're cheap to start with, and they don't want to pay anything for anything anyway. And now the managers appreciate where the guy's coming from. He ends up
leading with the negative.
Right. He ends up getting the upgrade.
Really?
Yeah.
Free because he built a relationship and.
Yeah, the guy's got an empty room.
Yeah.
Never be mean to somebody who could hurt you by doing nothing. Not giving you the empty room is doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You want this guy to give you a favor, and he doesn't own the hotel, and those rooms are normally vacant anyway. So his owner, whoever owns the hotel, they're not mad at him because those rooms are empty. They expected them to be empty.
Yeah.
So he's got options. Ultimately, you want to make the pitch like, you give me that upgrade, I'm going to be a fan for life. I'm going to tell everybody how well I was treated. I'm going to tell all my friends about this.
Something I've done for like the last 10 years, a friend of mine told me this line, that he's like, if you ever want an upgrade, if you ever want like something better in the deal, use this line. And I swear I've been using it. Maybe it's been wrong, but I'd love your opinion.
All right.
I say, what's the chance you can help me with this?
All right, so that's a what question to start with.
What's the chance?
Two things about that I like. First of all, it's a what question.
Yeah.
And secondly,
what's the chance you can upgrade me?
You're elevating the person when you're asking for help.
So you're giving them power, right?
Right.
The opportunity to have power.
Right. Yeah, so there's, and I don't know that I'd change that sentence at all. I might say in advance, like, look, this is really going to seem greedy of me. Because you can't
leading with the negative.
Leading with the negative.
Wow.
If you try to call out a negative that's not there, you won't plant it. If you try to deny a negative that's not there, you plant that baby. And that's why you have to know the difference between a denial and a straight observation. And that's a subtle difference, because you're probably going to want to say, before you ask a guy for a discount, you're probably going to say, this guy's going to think I'm cheap and I'm greedy. I don't want him to think that. Mm-hmm. So if you mention it all, you get instinct to say, look, I don't want you to think I'm cheap and greedy here. That's a denial. That plants it.
So I bet you might think that I'm being a little greedy.
I'm sure it's coming
across.
Greedy.
I'm being greedy, but what's the chance you can upgrade me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can support me in getting upgraded.
And so if asking for an upgrade as a human being, the guy's going, no, that's not greedy. You want him thinking no. You want him saying no. No's a great answer, because when somebody says no, they have just protected and defended themselves. Like, it's ridiculous, the most ridiculous question that they would never say yes to. Like, if at the end of a negotiation, one of my last things I'm always going to say is, like, if you can't budge at all, I'll say, all right, well, look, it seems like you're powerless here.
Oh,
because nobody wants to say yes to that.
Wow.
Seems like there's nothing you could do. It seems like you're completely powerless here. And they'll put you on hold. They'll find a way to help you.
So it seems like you're powerless. If you can't help me, it sounds like you're powerless here.
Right. Everyone say yes to that.
Wow. Yeah. That is powerful.
Yeah.
Do you use that a lot when you're
at the end of any
phone
deal,
bill or anything or something?
At the end of any deal, if we haven't come to an agreement that I'm happy with, that'll be the last thing. I'll say, it seems like there's nothing I could say. And it seems like you're powerless.
It seems like nothing that you could say to them to get what you need.
Right.
Or for them to move the deal points, and it seems like you're powerless.
Right.
They're powerless.
Right.
Holy cow. That's powerful insight.
So, yeah, we a lot of people have cut deals they thought it was completely in the tank, and they're actually just trying to end positively. It's critical to end positively.
So here we just watched a short clip from Lewis Howes' interview, where he talked to negotiation expert Chris Voss. And I highly recommend his book called Never Split the Difference. I read this book a few times, and you can learn a lot from this book. And you can also learn a lot from Chris Voss. Just Google his name or YouTube his name, and you will find a lot of good interviews with him, where he will talk about this kind of stuff that we just watched here. This clip right here is a good example to show you how your words can influence people around you and can also shape the course of your life. Right words can be the difference between you getting a job or not getting a job. Right words can also land you great business deal, and you can even save people's lives if you choose to speak right words. Just like Chris Voss was doing when he used to work for FBI and used to negotiate with terrorists. So he knows how to speak and how to negotiate in high-pressure situations where a lot is at stake. And we all can learn from him. We all can learn this skill and implement it in our own lives. In this clip, they discussed psychology behind words and also how your expectations can affect your decisions. And I also love the very last thing that they talked about, where Chris described that if you can't reach a deal with someone and you seem to be stuck, then you can always say, seems like you're powerless here. And just like he said, nobody wants to say yes to that. This is very, very powerful stuff here. This is like a great psychological trick. It won't feel good to commit to this sentence. It won't feel good to say, yes, I am powerless in this situation. I have no power here. So this is a great tool that you can use in situations where you need it. Like I said, this video is just a good example to show you that words are building blocks of your reality. And the way you speak will shape your destiny. And also words that you have in your own head will affect how you act and will shape the outcomes you will experience in your life. And if we connect this to Emerald Tablets, in the Emerald Tablet, Key to Freedom of Space, Todd is talking a lot about power of words. In that tablet, Todd emphasizes the importance of the word as the source of life and power. He's also talking about the significance of sound, vibration, and seeking for knowledge. You have to seek for the word, just like Todd is telling you. And that can be the difference between getting what you want and not getting what you want in life.